Heritage's pregame show with me, Steve Crispin. And Steve, we have an interesting game. Clayton last week against Woodstown, a pretty good game. They're up 6-0 at half, finally losing 19-6, but they had chances in that game.
Clayton has done a great job in terms of turning around the program. You mentioned a couple of minutes ago turning around the season last year with a 3-5-1 record. And I think really what we look for in Clayton this year, even though they're trying to get over the hump, is to play that role of a spoiler. Last week you mentioned a tough game against Woodstown, giving up 2 touchdowns late in the game there in the fourth quarter. Really kind of lost it for him there. So I think what Coach Jim Barron is looking for today is a little bit more consistent output. This is a team, Gloucester, that they cannot let up on. They're going to have to play a good 4 quarters of football.
They have a couple Division I prospects, Gloucester, that is, Hodson and Hauser, and Barron was talking about the way to play defense, maybe to blitz a little bit.
Yeah, I think one of the things you've got to take away one of the game plans from the Gloucester team. Gloucester has probably one of the most balanced offensive attacks that we're going to see this coming season. You mentioned Gus Hodson, a great tailback running out of that I formation. Gus Hodson comes into the season with over 2,200 yards in career rushing, and along with that 23 touchdowns. But then on the other side, you have a great passing attack with a good wide receiver, a Division I prospect, and Neil Hauser. With 16 touchdown receptions last year, led the state, was a first-team All-State. So Jim Barron coming to this game feels he's got to take away one of those games from Gloucester and possibly maybe utilize a lot of blitzing from his linebackers to put pressure on the young quarterback from Gloucester, try to force him, maybe take Hauser out of the game, and that way they can concentrate just on Hodson in the backfield.
Because we also talked to the coach about the tough schedule. 4 out of their first 5 games are against Gloucester, Woodstown, Williamstown, and Salem. How tough is that on a team?
That is very, very difficult, especially on a young team that's trying to get over that hump. And it's really tough when you come off a nice season last year and you're trying to put together a good season this year. Very difficult to start the season off with.
Okay, it should be an interesting contest. We'll have all the action right after this. Clayton High School, Storer Cable Communications Channel 5 presents high school football. Today the Lions of Gloucester and the Clippers of Clayton, and just about getting ready to start today's game. And Clayton will receive Tom Kennedy, will do the kicking for Gloucester. And Clayton fumbles the kickoff, picked up by number 32, Robert Marshall. He's going to go, one man to beat, the kicker, look out, no one's going to get him. Last year, Robert Marshall, as a sophomore, scored 11 touchdowns. This is his second so far this year. And, Steve, that happens a lot when a muffed kick, the coverage gets too deep, and we just saw what happened there.
You're right there, John. It really worked out to Clayton's advantage there on the kickoff return, as Ernie Williams looked like he was going to be able to receive the kick. Played a miscue there. Marshall picking the ball up, and as you mentioned, a lot of times on kickoffs, the kickoff team, which is covering down there, has a tendency to overrun the play. And on that particular play, Robert Marshall used it to his advantage, and the only player to beat there was, as you mentioned, the kicker, Tom Kennedy, who really had no chance one-on-one in the open field with Rob Marshall.
Of course, I had Marshall on my show on Thursday night. He talked about Woodstown keying on him in the first game. He managed to score a touchdown last year. Not many people knew about him, just a sophomore. Clayton looking for him to do some big things the next couple years.
An excellent tailback running out of that I formation. He's going to be the workhorse today. We're really going to see 2 good ones. For Clayton, we're going to see Rob Marshall running down that I formation. He just showed the kind of speed and ability that he has as a running back. And in our pregame, we mentioned Gus Hodson, the fine tailback for the Gloucester Lions, who we're also going to be seeing here in just a few minutes.
Okay, looks like Clayton will kick the extra point. Nick Broken ball. Looks like he'll try for it. And it looks like a fake. DeFrance looking, and the ball is intercepted by Gloucester, so it's 6-0 Clayton.
A little bit of surprise there on the extra point. Clayton lining up to kick here. Here we're going to get to see the replay on the kickoff. You're going to be able to see the muff there by Williams, and Marshall alertly picks the ball up, and watch him break through the initial attack there by the Gloucester Lions. Now it's just one-on-one with, we mentioned, the kicker Kennedy, and that is just no match for the fine running ability of Robert Marshall. You know, one of the things you have to question there as far as Gloucester is concerned, in most cases you don't have your kicker as being your safety man. A lot of times you want to have someone back there that has good speed and good open field tackling ability. Marshall, the kicker, really left in a very vulnerable position there. Have to handle Marshall and be the last line of defense.
That's got to be a big lift for this Clayton team. Mentioned a team coming off a loss against Woodstown, had a very difficult time getting themselves on track in the ball game, but able to get off to a good start here this morning.
Savage and Hodson back deep for Gloucester. Waiting the kick from Carlton Colburn. And it's Hodson with the ball at about the 10, 15-yard line. He's up the field. And a nice return up to about the 42-yard line. So good field position for Gloucester. As we take a look at head coach Jim Barron in his second year, an assistant, I believe, at Audubon and Paulsboro High School.
Starting at their own 41-yard line.
Quarterback is Michael Hunter, number 14. In the backfield, Kevin Kinane and Gus Hodson.
Good.
Don't forget split in number 80, Neil Hauser.
Hodson on a carry, led by a host of Clayton tacklers.
Pickup of about 3, carried by Hodson. Hodson had a big game last week, Steve. 28 carries, 208 yards.
And came out of there with 3 TDs. And what we just saw there on that last play is what we're going to see a lot of this morning. Hodson going to the left, Hodson going to the left, straight ahead blocking, running from tackle to tackle. Very important for the Gloucester team to control that line of scrimmage. And, of course, on the defensive side, Clayton's got to have to try to take that running game away from him if they can.
Well, they give him 4. It's 2nd and 6. Hand off once again. They're going to go straight up the middle once again. So like Gloucester played last year.
And 3 and 4 yards a carry right now. Gloucester going to try to establish that running game if they can. Early in the ball game, surprisingly, Clayton starts off with their 5-3 defense, and they're leaving one-on-one coverage out to Hauser, who is the split end who lined up in that last play on the right-hand side, and they're giving him a lot of room over there. The defensive man on that particular side is Derek Crenshaw, the left cornerback. Hauser's coming down here to the lower side.
Passing situation, 3rd and about 4. See if Clayton blitzes. They're going to give the Hodson once again. He won't get the first down. Strong defense by Clayton High School. A little early in the game to try for it here, Steve. I guess they'll punt.
Don't want to give up the good field position, especially when you're down the ball game. It's the kind of situation where maybe earlier in the ball game you may want to try to go for something in this particular case. But now down 6-0. You don't want to turn it over and allow Clayton to get another quick score. Here on the 3rd and short, we get to see the replay. Hodson trying to go to that right-hand side. Good surge by that left-hand side of the Clayton defense, led by both Vic DeFrance and Keith DeFrance, are playing the linebacker positions on the inside.
Number 8, Nick, a broken ball, and number 20, Derek Crenshaw back deep to receive the punt. And it looks like Gus Hodson does everything out here. He's the punter.
Right now we have a flag on the play. The flag was thrown before the ball was actually snapped, and it looks like they're going to wave that off.
So it's 4th and 2. And the Clayton defense holding Gloucester on their first series. Bad snap, picked up by Hodson, gets a punt off. And it's picked up by Crenshaw. And he picks up maybe 5 yards out to about the 25. And Clayton will get the scrimmage for the first time. We'll take a break, 6-0 Clayton. First quarter action, and it's 6-0 Clayton. Robert Marshall returning the opening kickoff for a touchdown. Marshall on a first down carry, not much there.
On that time, Marshall trying to go over the left-hand side. He was met by Mike Reeves, the right defensive tackle on that side.
Lost a couple, 2nd down and 12. Quarterback Keith DeFrance, backfield Sims and Marshall, and it's interesting, DeFrance getting the snap from his brother Vic.
That's a combination you don't see too often.
The pitch to Marshall, trying to get wide. And Hodson's there with the tackle. Jim Bennett and Gus Hodson on the stop. And we are told Clayton can throw the ball, and it's 3rd and about 14. They're going to have to throw it here.
Yeah, Clayton has good balance also. We mentioned in our pregame, Gloucester's a team that comes in with a good passing as well as a good running attack. Clayton really has that also. DeFrance is really developing as a quarterback. He's only a junior. He had the opportunity to play a lot last year, played in just about all the Clayton games. And he has a good arm, and he has got a good core of receivers.
Well, he's got Scott Castrava lined up to the right, and they try and run. Ernie Williams on the carry. It's kind of a strange call.
Yeah, with 3rd down and long to go, 3 men in the backfield, almost a power formation, the kind of formation you would see with a 3rd down and probably a short situation. And we really see the Gloucester defense rising to the occasion here. They know if they can stop Clayton in this particular instance and force him to punt as they are right now deep in their own end zone, they're going to come back here and get good field position.
So Clayton lost yardage on every play. Number 8, Nick Brokenball back to punt. Number 33, Brian Savage back deep to return it. Hodson's the up man. The ball will go to Savage at the 50-yard line. Heading right, and he looks like he'll be stopped to pick up about 10 yards, however, before he's knocked out of bounds.
You know, as the Gloucester offense comes onto the field, one of the big stories for Gloucester this year had to be the loss of their fine quarterback, Sean McKinney. We mentioned the nice balance that they had last year with Hodson, the fine running back, and Hauser, the all-state wide receiver. Well, McKinney was a great quarterback and was able to get the ball to Hauser in the field and out there where he really likes to catch the ball. And now that responsibility is going to be on Mike Hunter, the junior, who was able to win the starting job this year. And he's going to have to come through and show that he can pass the ball to try to open things up for Hodson just a little bit in their running game.
Well, they tried to run first 3 plays last time, and it looks like sort of an option. Hunter keeps it, picks up maybe 1. Of course, you talk about Sean McKinney. He went on to Gloucester State College, and the Profs picked up a big win last night against Trenton State. They are now 4-0, 10-3 win at Trenton State.
And that is a big win for Jim Bunning and his program over there at Gloucester State, a team that defense has only given up 6 points at this point in the season, have not allowed a touchdown. You know, we are seeing 2 programs here that have had a great turnaround in the last couple years, and the job that Jim Barron just did in 1 year here at Clayton. And on the other side, Leon Harris has done an outstanding job in bringing this Gloucester program back.
Okay, Hunter on 2nd down. This time he's going to pass. He's looking to Hauser. Goes to his short man. And it looks like we have a 1st down. The catch by number 10, Dennis Wilson, the junior.
This is something I think Gloucester is going to have to do. You know, we mentioned that Jim Barron coming in was going to do a lot of blitzing. And by blitzing, of course, you're going to force a little bit, make it more difficult for Gloucester to be able to run the ball. But if indeed you're going to be able to, if you're going to be setting linebackers, you've got to get good pressure on the quarterback. You have a little slot formation up on the top of your screen. The inside man there, Wilson, is going to go down about 10 yards and break to the outside. Hodson was running long. Good read by Mike Hunter, the quarterback, to hit the underneath there. The underneath man, Watson, is there able to pick up the 1st down.
1st down for Gloucester to give the Hodson up the middle. Good game there. Real good game. Of course, Steve, if they're going to blitz and they're going to take the long pass away from Hauser, of course they're going to go underneath a lot, right?
That's what they're going to have to be looking for, and we saw it in that play. They're giving a lot of room to Hauser on the outside. Hauser was trying to get deep on the pattern, but Wilson running underneath, and that's the plays that are going to be open. And of course, that's what the coaching staff is going to have to keep Mike Hunter informed of, is to look for those receivers underneath the zones.
7-yard gain for Hodson. 2nd down, call it 3. Hunter to Hodson again. Looks like he'll have the 1st down.
Hodson again on a carry.
Tackle there by number 54, Ralph Colazzo.
This Clayton defense is going to have to really work hard, as they did in the first series of downs, to meet Hodson at the line of scrimmage. You cannot allow him to get through the line of scrimmage and try to tackle him from behind. We saw in that play, Colazzo was able to get there and fill the hole, but not until after Hodson was able to get through it. And when you get behind him, he's going to be able to carry you for those extra yards.
1st and 10, the ball on about the 14-yard line of Clayton. Hunter with Kinane and Hodson in the backfield to give to Kinane, the up man, and he picks up some pretty good yardage. And of course, Steve, with the way Gloucester's running the ball, when you get down to the 3rd and 4th quarter, that's going to take a lot out of the Clayton defense, too.
They really do. You watch how they set up here on offense, and you don't see this too often in Tri-County. This is a strict pro offense. You have a flanker to one side, a split end to the other, only 1 tight end. A lot of high schools employ 2 tight ends, but they still are a running team, and they take a lot out of you. They come right at you, and they do try to wear you down, and you will see the effects later on the ball game.
2nd down and 5. Hauser split to the right. Derek Crenshaw one-on-one with him. To give this to Hodson. 3:35 left in the first quarter. Clayton, as Robert Marshall returned the opening kickoff, has a 6-0 lead.
We're at 3rd down and short right now, and of course Gloucester can pick up a first down and have it inside the 5-yard line with 4 more plays. So they really are in 2-play territory here with the kind of offense they run, and when you got a person like Hodson in the backfield, look for 2 plays here, at least 2 plays to pick up that first down as they try to take it in here for their score.
Hunter gives to Hodson. It looks like he has the first down. And it is. 1st and goal. Ball looks like it's on about the 4-yard line. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Look for Gloucester to keep the ball on the ground here. Hunter, Hodson, touchdown Gloucester. So Gus Hodson picks up his 4th touchdown of the year, and we're tied at 6 with 2:34 remaining in the first quarter.
That's a nice drive by the Lions here in this first quarter. Using a good balance. They used the pass just a little bit there earlier in the drive to open things up. They used Kinane, the fullback, using Hodson almost as a decoy to break him for a nice gainer, and then Hodson able to take it in for the score.
A 40-yard drive. Tom Kennedy will attempt the extra point. The snap, the kick is up, and it is good. The score, Gloucester 7, Clayton 6.
Gloucester 7, Clippers 6.
Here we get to see the replay of Hodson's touchdown. What makes the play is the way he works over the right-hand side, but watch him cut back. He sees the amount of defensive men there waiting for him. He cuts back against the grain to the weak side of the defense and able to get in there for the score.
Well, of course, it's runs like that. That's why he's being heavily recruited by West Virginia and Syracuse. Hodson and Hauser, Division I prospects, almost every Division I school after Hauser, and West Virginia and Syracuse after both Hauser and Hodson. Kennedy will kick off. Broken ball, and Ernie Williams back deep. It's interesting, you don't see Robert Marshall back deep on this kickoff, Steve.
Of course, Marshall is the workhorse, and you're going to try to, as much as you possibly can, give him some breaks. He works hard both on the offense and the defensive side of the ball.
Matter of fact, he's on the sideline. Wonder if there's anything wrong. And they'll kick the ball, picked up by Broken Ball. Broken Ball trying to take the ball up the middle. And he picks up some yardage up to about the 34-yard line. Clayton will have the ball. 1st and 10 on their own 34.
We have to look to see if Clayton can put together something offensively. That Gloucester defense came out very strong there in the first quarter. And I think Clayton is going to have to utilize the pass much the way that Gloucester did in their last drive to try to open things up just a little bit for the running game. This Gloucester defense is going to key on Rob Marshall. He's going to be the workhorse of this Clayton offense, and DeFrance may have to try to find a couple of his receivers to open up that running game.
Okay, the give is to the first man through, Cesar Sims. Sims up to about the 36, 37-yard line. It'll be 2nd down.
Sims doing a nice job of running there. He was met immediately at the line of scrimmage by Weichman, the defensive tackle, and Reeves, the defensive tackle, but he's able to push forward and pick up a few yards, and something you're always looking for there to try to pick up good yardage on 1st down. You want to try to stay out of those 2nd down and long situations.
2nd down and 7. To pick up a 3. Crenshaw split to the right. The pitch is to Marshall trying to go left. Breaks one tackle, breaks another. And it looks like a 1st down, an excellent run by Robert Marshall.
In that particular play, Marshall getting the ball on the outside really did not look like he had a whole lot. And that's something that, of course, Clayton would like to do as much as they possibly can, is to use their speed and get to the outside of the defense. Here's going to be the pitch to the left-hand side. He's got Sims leading on the block, but you watch the first man, Kinane, there is the outside linebacker. He sheds his tackle. Then Hodson, the middle linebacker who had gotten over there, beats his tackle, and it's not until Hauser, the free safety, gets over there to knock Marshall out of bounds, but not until he's able to pick up the first.
Final minute of the first quarter. First down, Clayton. They're at the 45. Marshall again. Looks like no yardage there, just gang tackle. Jim Bennett, number 50, on the stop.
One thing that the Clayton team is going to have to do, they're going to have to get some people out on that offensive line and get on these middle linebackers for this Gloucester team. Bennett and Cooney playing on the inside. Also Hudson, the big running back that they have, also plays at the middle linebacker position. And they've got to get out and get on these linebackers and try to free some things up for these backs.
Barron gives the play to Ortega, sends it in. Second down and 10. First pass, looking for Crenshaw, could be intercepted. No, knocked down though by number 21, Frank Gilfian.
DeFrance trying to roll to his right there. He's looking for Crenshaw, who had gone down about 10 yards and broken to the outside. And I think as DeFrance was rolling to his right, he kind of felt that he could have gotten over to defensive. Crenshaw had gotten behind Gilfian in this particular play. DeFrance happened to throw off the back foot because of the pressure that he was receiving from the left-hand side of that Gloucester defense. The last second, Gilfian reaching up, able to tap the ball down, and Crenshaw not able to make the reception.
Third down and 10. This is where you got to have a passing game. The draw, Marshall will lose yardage. They lost 3 or 4, and Clayton will have to punt. But that'll end the first quarter. We'll have the punt after we take this break. The score, Gloucester 7, Clayton nothing. That score, 7-6, Gloucester leads. Gloucester with a fine drive, their last series in the first quarter. 40-yard drive capped off by a touchdown run from Gus Hodson. Clayton's only score coming on the opening kickoff. Robert Marshall with a kick return. Clayton will kick the ball, fourth down. Broken ball with the punt, high punt. Taking it about the 30 by Brian Savage. He's still on his feet, he could go. Fumble, Hodson picks it up. What an interesting play, and he's bodily tackled by the punter, number 8, Nick Brokenball. Savage with a fine return.
Savage does a nice job on this punt return to get outside of the Clayton containment as they were coming down to cover that kick. Watch as Savage, this is a nice kick by Brokenball, first of all, drives Savage pretty deep. But watch as Savage, knowing his wall is going to be set up on the left-hand side, is able to get outside the containment, shows good speed right here. He gets outside the containment, then he knows he's got to break across field to pick up some more blockers. And then alert play here on the fumbles. Hodson picks it up and is able to pick up extra yardage. And that's a nice play by Hodson to prevent the turnover.
No truth to the rumor that they were working on that in practice. First down play. Hunter with a nice play.
You know, John, on that last play, this is how you use an all-state wide receiver. That is a run all the way. Hauser has lined up on the left-hand side. They are playing 10 to 12 yards off him. Hauser runs down like he's going to go deep. And on that play, Hunter rolls to a left, but it's a run all the way. Neither of the two receivers on the left-hand side even turned around. They were down there as decoys. The minute that Hunter committed himself to the run, they just started to block.
So first down on about the 12, first and 10. Gloucester can still get another first down. Hodson on the run. Nice run. Flag on the play, however.
Preliminary indication is going to be a holding against Gloucester, and this will be a big penalty against the Lions right now, as Hodson, taking that last handoff using good feet quickness, is able to get down there close to the goal line, but this is, of course, going to go marked off against the Lions. It's going to give them a first down and about 20 to go.
It is holding.
And the down remains first down.
Here's the replay. I don't know if we're going to be able to pick up the holding or not. It's right there, just as you can see, as Hodson breaks through that initial line of scrimmage. It looked like it was on the right-hand side, maybe Cooney, the right guard, on the hold. It was the referee who was behind the offensive line who made the call. So I think that's probably who committed the penalty. But because of Gloucester's ability to throw the ball, this is not a very difficult situation for them.
1st and 22. Hunter has Hauser to the left. He'll drop back. Hauser, touchdown. Neil Hauser from Hunter. And Hunter just waited to the right time.
Hunter did an excellent job on that as he felt the pressure. What made it much more difficult is that he had to roll to his left and get his shoulders squared up before he could throw that ball. But then on the other hand, Neil Hauser, the All-State wide receiver, does a nice job. He goes downfield. He sees that Hunter is having difficulty and is being flushed out of the pocket. He comes back to the ball, and he gets himself open in that corner of the end zone for the touchdown.
13-6 Gloucester. Kennedy for the extra point. Snap is down. The kick is up. It's good. 14-6 Gloucester. Second quarter, watch it again, Steve.
Here's Hunter, as you're going to see him fake into the line. He wants to drop straight back, but he's going to feel the pressure from the right-hand side. This forces him to roll to his left. Watch as he gets his shoulder square, and here he finds Hauser deep in the left corner of that end zone. That is an All-State wide receiver. Receiver goes down. He knows his quarterback is in trouble. He frees himself up and gets himself open for the TD reception.
This Gloucester team could be really dangerous in Group 1 and in the Tri-County Classic. A lot of people thought it would be a 3-team race. Salem, Glassboro, and Gloucester. Of course, Glassboro had a tough schedule, first 2 games against Salem and Williamstown. And Gloucester last week, of course, playing Bishop Kendrick with an easy win there. Salem winning their opener against Glassboro.
This team, this Gloucester team, is certainly going to be a team to contend with in Group 1. And I think especially if this quarterback, Mike Hunter, develops the way he has looked at, seems to be his way he's going to be developed these first couple games. Had a good start here today.
Definitely a key. Once again, Marshall is not deep. The kick is to 22. Ernie Williams, and he's stacked up at about the 25-yard line. So it's interesting, Marshall was in on the opening kickoff and hasn't been in since on the kickoffs. So 1st and 10 from the 25.
Clippers will operate with a 1st and 10 with the ball resting just outside their own.
We see Robert Marshall is on the bench, so he's not even in the game. We'll try and get a report on Marshall. DeFrance looking down the field, has his man. Derek Crenshaw out to the 44-yard line. First down, Clayton.
Great catch by Derek Crenshaw there on the right-hand side. DeFrance looking to Crenshaw all the way. It looked like DeFrance had overthrown Crenshaw on the play, but Crenshaw goes up real high for the reception. Here you're going to see Crenshaw working on the right-hand side. DeFrance looks for a quick pass pattern. Crenshaw is going to take it a little bit deeper, and Crenshaw reads that play. He reads what the defense is allowing him to take to that outside, and DeFrance finds him on that first down reception.
Gives to Williams again. Apparently the word on Robert Marshall, as we have a shot of him, a bruised knee. Looks like he has ice on that knee right now.
Needless to say, that would be a big loss for this Clayton team. Marshall's the workhorse for this team. We know last week against Woodstown, he had an awful big day. Carried 23 times for 187 yards. So he is a big part of that Clayton offense.
Of course, he wants to be out there. 2nd down and about 7. The give is to Sims. Caesar Sims.
Getting a nice surge by that offensive line of Clayton. As Sims is able to break through there and pick up a couple extra yardage.
They have him listed 165-pound fullback, not your normal fullback size there. Timeout. Clayton. We'll take a break. The scorer, Gloucester 14, Clayton 6. We'll be back. (14-6). Gloucester has the lead. Second quarter action. 9:05 left. Clayton with a 3rd down at about 6. The pitch is to Williams. He's trying to break left. He won't get the first down. Hit initially by Hodson, whose helmet comes off. Finally knocked down by number 55, Bob Cotter, the linebacker.
Hodson coming up from that strong safety position. Tells you the kind of player that he is. He went in there and made the hit on Williams.